I'm not really going to do a demonstration today. I just thought I'd just talk a little bit. So really, this week is the last week of the. So what I've been doing is like a sort of small project, weekly project. Ideally looking at working from life or working from direct observation. So that's what I've been doing for January. And I've been trying to do the same myself, trying to do a little bit of work myself each day, trying out different mediums and things like that. So I've still got the still life objects, which are here, if anybody wants to use those, and some of you brought stuff in, which is great. One or two people I think were ready to move on to another project, so I thought I'd introduce like next month's project. And the theme I've got for next month is really, it can be painting or drawing, whatever medium you want to use. But the theme is really looking at subjects where the light source is sort of in the distance, so you're kind of looking into the light source. So that's the theme for next month. Hiya, hello. Let's see. Yeah, so it's looking into the light, or what is also known as contre-jour. You might have come across the term contre-jour. No, that's good. So I'm teaching somebody new term. So it's like a French term, which means against the light. So what effectively happens is, if you've got a subject where the light's in the distance, a lot of things get silhouetted. So really this would apply to pretty much most sunrises or sunsets. If you're looking towards the sun, the effect then is that everything else is kind of cast into shadow. I've got a few, next week I'll bring a couple of books in, which I kind of lined up ready and forgot today, but they'll be there for next week. But I've got a couple of paintings I could show you. So this was very little kind of sunrise one I did earlier this month, just out on the mud flat. So you can see like the boat is effectively cast into a shadow. There's a tiny bit of light reflecting on the side. That's that one. These are all sort of painting demos that I've done either for workshops or art clubs, things like that. And they all need a little bit more work on. But this one, this is from one of the photos I took. And again, the light source is back here, and it effectively throws most of the trees into a shadow. A little bit of light catching bits of foliage. So that's that. That's another one which would kind of fall into that category. I mean, it's a way of creating some quite nice atmospheric looks as well. Because you got this very strong contrast. Again, the boat's in shadow. In this case, you get these little bits of reflected light. So that can be quite a nice feature of this sort of thing. I did this was a sketch I did on Saturday. Again, just further down there, just with trying out the pastel pencils, just on the mud flats. But again, it's that sort of contre-jour, looking into the light type thing.
Is it pastel pencil?
Yeah, pastel pencil, that one. Yeah. Yep. And this one, I originally did a workshop, and this was a sort of partly finished demo. So this was from a photo I took over at Two Tree Island. So again, light source is back here. So you get these nice sort of reflections, but also things like, if you've got figures, they're kind of cast into shadow. So that's the sort of theme that I thought might be interesting to look for.
Yes. What medium is that, Paul?
This one is oils.
Ah.
Yeah, I think it's oils, that one. Yeah, this is acrylics, but I mostly use oils. I was trying to practice acrylics a bit, but yeah, most of these are oils. Yeah, this one I might try and work that one up and finish it. There's another boat going there. Because it was a workshop, I just did painted through a passage so they could see the different layers. Because I only had about an hour really to paint.
What?
I did a little bit more during while they were painting, but effectively my demo was less than an hour. And some of that was sketching it out. So yeah, there are a few examples of mine. In terms of visual photos and things, references, I put a few together in this folder here. Some something like that would fit the bill. That is like the light sources in the background. I don't particularly have a folder. Well, these ones I thought were more or less fit the bill, so I put them in here. But it's more looking through other images and identifying what would fit the bill really. Would be that kind of light source. So if you've got your own references, that's great. Or you can look on, you could look on the internet for references if you want to, like Contrecoeur, Against the Light, or have a look through landscape, seascape. Some of mine will be that kind of lighting. But as I say, it does create nice atmospheric lighting. Quite often, when I've sort of asked a group what they'd like me to use as a reference, I've given them a few different images. They've quite often picked one of these where you've got the light source in the distance, and then lots of things are thrown into shadow, little bits of light bounce off different areas. So I'll talk a little bit more about it next week, and there's different artists I can show you next week with the other examples.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
So is that all good, all set? So
All good.
yeah, so you can either, if you want to start something and you want to use one of these references, or have a look through the references we've got, or if you're happy to carry on with the project we've got all these still life objects, and yeah. Or the other thing is we've got lovely views out the window today. Yeah, I mean it's just fabulous, isn't it? It's really gorgeous.
Unfortunately, the sea's not in.
No, well, that's the nice thing. I mean, this one was really that kind of, with light. I mean, I love the way the light bounces off some of these little puddles. Really, you get, and that's stunning. Those clouds in the distance.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I did a little sketch yesterday, just of clouds, and that was quite nice too. Yeah, that was my little cloud study, just in a bit of charcoal. But something like those clouds in the distance. That'd be quite, and with the rays coming through. I mean, while we're up here, it's a nice opportunity if you wanted to do some quick sketches out the window. I don't know how long we'll be here. Basically, what's happened is the lighting, the main lights are tripping out other fuses in the club, so we can't really use that downstairs until they've fixed it. So we may well be here another week or two, or they might fix it and we're back downstairs next week. That's why we're here.
Quite nice.
Oh, it is lovely, yeah. And it's actually really warmed up as well. If you get too hot, there's 3 heaters. We can switch them off if you're too hot. And I will shut the door now, everybody's in, and that'll keep the warmth in. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, right. I'll let you crack on.
Works for